Hi, welcome to episode 10 of the Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast. My name is Julie, and you can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Periscope as Julie Rose Sews. You can find my hand-dyed yarns at sweetsparrowyarns.etsy.com, and you can find our podcast Ravelry group by searching Sweet Sparrow Knits on Ravelry. I have a little companion today recording with me. My little cat Bucky, my cat Bucky is right here with me. He's so cute. So if you hear purring, licking sounds, that's Bucky. He really likes to sit on my lap, and he's such a sweetheart that I couldn't say no. I couldn't boot him off my lap. So he'll be joining us today. So I want to start off by thanking everyone so much for their entries into the 500 subscriber giveaway on Ravelry. You guys left just the nicest comments, and you left so many good podcast recommendations. I'm really looking forward to going through that thread and subscribing to all those podcasts. So I used random number generator. I did this off screen because I record on my phone, and I think it would have just gotten too complicated to try to bring it up on my computer and then show it with my phone, so I did it beforehand. So the winner was post number 52, who is KM Davy1, or Kelly. So congratulations, Kelly. Get in touch with me, send me a message on Ravelry, and I will send out your prize. Works in progress. You guys, these are the exact same works in progress that you have been seeing for weeks. I don't know why it is taking me so long to finish one darn pair of socks. Maybe it hasn't really taken that long. Oh, now Coco's in the picture, by the way. He's right here next to me, and he's giving himself a little bath. Hey, Coco. All right. So the Hermione Sweet Tooth socks. Oh, hi, Coco. Now Coco's also on my lap. Okay, that's not gonna work. Come on, baby face. All right. The Hermione's Everyday Socks for my mom, which I'm calling Hermione's Sweet Tooth. Coco just knocked over my show notes and my planner. Okay. Anyway, good boy, Coco. It's all right, sweet pea. So this is the second sock, and all that it needs is not afterthought heel. All that it needs is the ribbing on top, and then an afterthought heel in the back. I am going to my mom's house next weekend for a long weekend, so I am hoping to have those done to give to her when I go visit her. I've got to have them done because I can't have those on the podcast another week. I feel like I've shown them for so long. Next up is my Scrumptious Memories quilt, also known as the Pinwheel Scrap Blanket, by Mina Phillip. So last time I showed you the beginnings of this square. This was my third square, and it was a little bit more brightly colored than the rest of my squares. So that's done. And I also finished a fourth square. I really like this square. I'm very happy with how it came out. This is a little weird. There's like I don't know if I must have gotten off one stitch when I was doing the little 3-needle bind off there. But it will all even out once it's seamed up. So I'm very happy with this. I think it came out very pretty. I have cast on for square number 5. I'm like 3 stitches into a row right now. I started knitting last night and then I just fell asleep. So this is just the teeny beginning of square number 5. And that will have some purples and pinks, a nice pretty spring green, another triangle from my Tea Party Knit Picks Felici, and this gorgeous dark navy blue. I think that'll be a really pretty contrast in there. So I'm looking forward to continuing to knit on my blanket. I did not work on the calligraphy cardigan again this week, too hot. So I also wanted to share with you one project that will no longer be a work in progress. So this is the Crazed Scandinavian cowl by Wendy Johnson. Oh, I don't know, it looks so pretty. I started this in January. I've only made it this far. This is the Crazed Scandinavian pattern by Wendy Johnson, and it's a colorwork cowl worked in the round. I have been questioning whether I want to continue on this or rip it out because I'm not 100% thrilled with how the color is showing up. I think it's a combination of a number of factors. I don't know if there's just not enough contrast or whether the yarn isn't quite woolly enough, because I find that I really like how Fair Isle looks when it's in a woollier yarn that kind of like it fuzzes together so you see the motifs rather than the individual stitches, and I just don't know if I'm that happy with how this is looking. I also made some kind of mistake in this little leaf section here so that the top leaves look good, but the bottom leaves are funky. This part looks pretty. I like how that looks, but I don't know. I'm just not thrilled with how this is looking, and I love both of these yarns. This is Wool Bearer's yarn, and this is Holiday Yarns, and I got both of these at Vogue Knitting Live this past year, and I love them both, and I just don't know if they're working for this project. They also both have sparkle, and I'm not sure that the like folksy motif is working with the combination of both being like, this is obviously a very feminine pink, it's a beautiful blush color, which I love, and then this is a charcoal gray, and I don't know if the combination of those colors plus the stellina plus the Fair Isle just isn't working for me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I need confirmation either way. What do I do? This was also one of my first colorwork projects that I had attempted, so the tension is not very even. There's definitely parts that even after it's blocked, I don't think the tension is going to be fixed. I'm just not happy with it. Hey, Coco. I'm starting to wonder if maybe this is something that needs to be done in a yarn like Quince & Company, just something a little woollier. My cats are like wreaking havoc over here. Hello. So let me know your opinions on this, please. And this project is in a bag that I purchased from Amy Beth of the Fat Squirrel Speaks. I just thought it was so cute, all these little outfits together. I really love this bag. I wanted to give you a little update on Ask Me Anything. I had mentioned previously that I had received a question about how I do my afterthought heels, since I do cut the yarn for it and I don't put in waste yarn ahead of time. Most of the time. Occasionally I'll do a waste yarn one, but a lot of the time I just find it easier to just snip afterward. So I had mentioned that I was going to make a video showing how I do that, and I'm just not happy with how my attempts at that video are turning out. It's something I will continue working on, but in the meantime I will be linking to a tutorial by Cherie of Kirby Werby Yarns, and she has a really great video on YouTube. I think hers is actually the one that I watched to learn how to do this kind of heel. So you can find that in the show notes. Let's talk about reading. So right now I am still listening to A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin, who incidentally is from Bayonne, which is where I live. Yay! So I am listening to that book and really enjoying it. I've kind of lifted the pressure that I had put on myself to just listen to all of the books straight through without taking a break for any other books. Because the Game of Thrones series is so emotionally intense, I really do find that I need to have what the girls from Bookend call a side book. I need to have my side book. And that's generally just like a light, fluffy, fun book when I'm reading something as intense as Game of Thrones. I am also reading this book, You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. I picked up this book at an independent bookstore near where Rob lives. I kind of got it on a whim, honestly, because there are some changes that I would like to make in my life. Some are short-term and some are long-term. I think I just needed a little boost to remind me that I can accomplish those things. And this book has turned out to be a really excellent boost. It is a self-help book, but it's described as You Are a Badass is the self-help book for people who desperately want to improve their lives but don't want to get busted doing it. Because I think there is such a, when you think of self-help books, they're either like, oh my god, so boring, or they have this like woo-woo quality to them, which I have a hard time with personally. It's not something that I can really get into. So I am enjoying this book. I will let you know when I finish it how I feel about it a little bit more. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And the third book that I am listening to is How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. And this is a collection of essays basically about what it's like to grow up in this era as a woman. It's very funny. The audiobook is particularly great because it's read by the author and she is hysterically funny. This is not a book for children. No, not for kids. But if you don't mind kind of a raunchy sense of humor, which I don't, I enjoy that, and you are in the mood for something that's meaningful but funny but meaningful, definitely check out this book. It's really great. Acquisitions. Bucky is laying on my acquisitions, so hold on one sec. Bucky is pretty sure that I put a big pile of wool on the couch just for him to lay on. Right, Buckster? Right, baby? Yeah. Look at this guy. Okay, here, I'll get my acquisitions and then you can lay back down. Good boy. There you go. So I am trying not to buy a lot of yarn right now because it is almost Fiber Festival season. Bucky hair. I'm not doing super well, I have to tell you. The not buying yarn is not really successful. But this particular purchase I have no guilt about because, as I mentioned in a previous episode, this was one that if I could get my hands on this purchase, hey Coco, if I was able to snag some of these, I was going to do it, and the no buying yarn was just, it wasn't applicable in this situation. So miraculously, I was able to get 2 sock blanks from Andy of Andre Sue Knits. And the first one is squirrels. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I absolutely love it. I love squirrels. I think they're adorable. I think they're funny. I think they're smart. I think if I were an animal, I've already mentioned that I would be a sparrow, but if I weren't a sparrow, I think I would be a squirrel. I had a really cute moment with a squirrel yesterday where I was walking to the store and this squirrel was like busy concentrating on something, and it didn't realize that I was like almost next to it until I was very close, and then it ran up a telephone pole and sat up at the top of it, like looking down at me and going cha cha, like, you know, their little squirrel sound that they do. And he was like, you snuck up on me. It was very, very cute. So I love squirrels, and I love this squirrel sock blank. And that was the first one that I bought, and I could not believe it. But after I finished purchasing my first one, which the squirrels were my first choice, I decided to just take a peek in case by some chance my second favorite happened to still be available, and it was. How cute are these little bunnies? Oh my gosh, I love them. They're so cute. So I managed to also get this sock blank. Thank you, Andy. I love them. And my last acquisition for the week is the sock ruler. I knit a lot of socks, and I knit socks for people with varying foot sizes. So I decided to purchase this sock ruler. So this can either measure from the toe up, which is the way that I prefer to knit my socks, or the cuff down, and I think it's going to be very helpful. So I purchased mine directly from the manufacturer, so I just went to sockruler.com, and she also had a coupon code up on her site, so that was great. And I will let you guys know a little bit more about how I like this as I use it. Bits and pieces. This is the segment where I talk about things that are not necessarily knitting related, but which I am enjoying. So I went to go see Star Trek Beyond with my boyfriend as well as his roommates, who are a couple, and it was so much fun. You guys, this movie is so good. I wasn't super impressed with the last Star Trek reboot movie, the second one. I mean, it was good. It was like a fun movie, but it wasn't necessarily something that I would watch over and over. I don't think I've actually watched it since seeing it in the theater. which is surprising because I bought the DVD of the first Star Trek reboot movie like the day it came out. So the second one just did not have the same pull for me, although I did really enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. I thought he was great. So I really enjoyed Star Trek Beyond. It had a little bit more of the spirit of the first movie, I think. There were definitely like emotional moments in it that caught me by surprise. The characters were great, and I highly recommend it. I recommend it honestly, even if you're not like a hardcore Star Trek fan, because it's just very well done, and there were some moments when like people in the theater started like cheering and clapping, and I didn't do that because I tend to be a little reserved, but I definitely I felt it. And the other thing in my bits and pieces section this week is that I am getting a third tattoo. I'm so excited. My appointment is September 2nd, which is a Friday. It's the Friday of Labor Day weekend, and my office closes at noon that day, and my tattoo appointment is at 1. So I am getting a sparrow tattoo. So it will be a sparrow perched on a branch of a blossoming pear tree inside a wreath of raspberry leaves with raspberries on them. So I am getting this tattoo for a bunch of reasons. I had been wanting a sparrow tattoo for a long time. I think that what I really want out of life is a simple, happy life, and to me, sparrows really symbolize that. I want a cozy home, which sparrows are always bringing things back to their nests to pad it, to make it cozier for their families, and they're always busy. They're always hopping around, and I think that's very much my personality. And when I was growing up, we had a pear tree in our yard, and that was something that to me is like one of the more iconic visions of my childhood home, is this gorgeous blossoming pear tree. It always looked like a giant wedding cake every spring with just beautiful white blossoms. So I'm going to have the sparrow perched on that. And then the raspberries and raspberry leaves. Again, my family had a lot of raspberries growing in our garden and around our property. So that's one of my most treasured childhood memories, is going and picking raspberries with my family. And I have such a clear memory of my dad saying, you can eat them, but once you put them into the, I forget what we had, whether it was like a colander or I feel like I had the inside of a salad spinner as the thing that I was putting my raspberries into this particular time. And once you put them in, you can't take them back out to eat them. You can only eat ones that you haven't put in yet. And that was how we made sure that some raspberries made it back down to the house. But yeah, that's such a happy memory for me, and such a vivid memory. So I really wanted to include that. So I will be getting this tattoo on my right thigh. Originally I had wanted it on my ribs, and then I realized that as a girl with a chest that is not insubstantial, I will never see that. So I wanted to get it somewhere that I will actually see more frequently without a mirror. So I'm getting it on my right thigh. It will be about this big, pretty big. I'm really excited about it, and I will show you guys when I get that. Last up is shop update information. So the next shop update will be Thursday, August 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So So I will show you what is going to be in that update. I will be debuting my Halloween 2016 colorways in this update, and there will be 3 of them. This is the first one. It's called I'm a Mouse. Duh. That is my favorite line from Mean Girls. I absolutely love it. So I wanted to do a colorway based on that, and here it is. It's these very pretty soft grays and a blush pink with speckles of this pumpkin spice orange. So here's this color, and I will have 4 skeins on my nuthatch base. The next color is Banshee. I love Halloween, but I hate scary things. So I chose to do 2 like cute and funny references, and then one that was a little bit more spooky. So for Banshee, I wanted to do something that was soft and mysterious and a little melancholy. So this is Banshee, and it's pale mint and pale lavender with these like navy purple speckles. I love this one. I'm really happy with it. So there will be 4 skeins on nuthatch as well as 2 skeins on my goldfinch DK base. And last but certainly not least, The Great Pumpkin. I love the movie. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I love it. I love it. I watch it every Halloween. It's just like such a happy movie to me. It's something that I find really comforting. So I wanted to do a colorway based on it. So you've got the orange for obviously the Great Pumpkin, and this olive green for the pumpkin patch vines, and then red for Linus's shirt, this light blue for Linus's blanket. So there will be 3 skeins of this on my house friend tweed base, and then there will be 6 sets available of mini skeins. And the mini skeins will all be on my nuthatch fingering weight base. So mini skein sets. And these are my usual 20-gram mini skeins. And they will come in sets of all 3 Halloween colorways. And my non-Halloween colorways, I will also have some non-Halloween yarn dyed up. So there will be 4 hatchlings in Miss Honey. There will be 4 hatchlings in Garden Rose. There will be 4 hatchlings in Robin's Egg. And there will be 2 hatchlings in Secret Garden. Also in Secret Garden, there will be 2 skeins on my goldfinch DK base. There will be 2 skeins of Robin's Egg on House Wren. I love how this colorway looks on the tweed base. There will be 3 skeins of Robin's Egg on Goldfinch DK. And there will be 2 skeins of You Can Do It Brucey on House Wren. I haven't dyed this colorway in a little while, and I've completely fallen back in love with it. I didn't ever fall out of love with it, but I don't know, I hadn't dyed it in a little while, so it was really fun to get back into dyeing this one because I think it's really pretty, and I'm just really in the mood for browns for whatever reason. I especially like this sort of deep soil brown, and it has this yummy caramel brown too, or caramel as some say. As well as this medium, like milk chocolate colored brown. So pretty. So that is all I have for you this week. Next week I will be podcasting from at my mom's house, which a lot of you guys really liked when I podcasted in the woods last time. So I think I am going to try to do that again. And I hope you have a great week. Bye.